How are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
How are you today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. So first of all, what made you want to become a roughneck?
Being a roughneck is all about the traditions that we uphold. We're going 100 plus years and we're still holding it down. So to be a part of that and to want to have a brotherhood, none like anything else.
Well, growing up, I've always been a big OU fan. My family's had season tickets for over 50 years between my grandparents and my father.
What made you want to become a driver?
Man, like anything with any sort of live animal, you do it for the love of the animal, of course, right? And so just forming that relationship early on with the ponies really forms to really want to drive and spend more time and getting to learn them more and creating that relationship and creating a stronger relationship with them.
I mean, it's the real deal. It is the live mascot of the university. It is it's the coolest thing that I've ever seen. It's a once in a lifetime experience to get to carry on a tradition that's been built for a while, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
How long was the training process?
The training process lasts for a little bit over a year before you get to take your first drive on the field.
A little over a year.
What kind of bond has been formed between the drivers in comparison to the rest of the organization?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a tight-knit group regardless, but with the drivers specifically, there's more of a team aspect. Everyone's feeding off each other's energy, and though it is, it's one driver at a time doing it. We're not working as a team together, but we're growing as a team together. So yeah, definitely more of a team aspect there, and more of a competitive aspect than so with the other members of the Roughnecks.
I mean, between the drivers and the rest of the organization, we're all still one big club at the end of the day, and we're all still brothers. But, with your drivers, you do have a little bit more camaraderie. You spend a little more time together, and you get to know each other a little bit better.
Did you ever feel like quitting or like you wanted to give up?
That's one thing that's always kept in mind when picking the drivers for the next year. Quitting is kind of something that's phased out of all the drivers, of course, but there's definitely shortage challenges at times. But yeah, that's what makes it fun. That's what you'll remember. So no.
I mean, adversity hits regardless, and times get tough, but it's not how you act, it's how you react and make yourself better through those situations.
Was there ever a competitive mindset between you two?
Oh, there always is. I mean, iron sharpens iron, and if we aren't pushing each other to be the best we can be, then what are we even really doing here?
Of course, blessed to be able to share this opportunity, with each other. However, that energy feeds off one another, right? And there may be times where one was trying to overstep the other, but we're just trying to make each other better because we're both about that action and being better and being the best we can be.
Did you guys ever get into any arguments or scuffles while training?
I mean, there's times where we'd be comparing each other's performances, and words were shared, and some shoves were brought on to one another, but nothing too crazy, nothing that'll outweigh the love we have for each other. But yeah, there was some altercation.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was a few times we almost came to blows. There was one time we got into it over who's right or wrong about X, Y, and Z, and got a little physical, but nothing that drew blood at least.
What was your greatest obstacle you overcame while training?
For me, it was really learning that as competitive minded as a lot of us are, for me, it was really being able to flip the switch on between, all right, this is who I'm competing against versus this is my brother who I live my life with, right? So being able to switch between the two back and forth at an hour's instance, right? Always trying to outdo each other, always trying to outgo each other. That was something, you have to get used to because though we all might have been used to that, we haven't been used to that with that specific person. So being able to go between the two mindsets back and forth a lot.
For me, the greatest obstacle was learning patience with the ponies. You know, we don't speak the same language, but they understand what we tell them a little bit, and trying to figure out that nice medium. It took me a while.
When was your first official drive during a game?
Mine was U10
UTEP at home.
at home last year.
And in 3 words, describe how you felt before, during, and after your first drive.
You know, before you get that kind of anxious feeling, not anxious in that you're worried, but anxious in that you're excited, you know, kind of like in the tunnel before a big football game, or, you know, like before a big test, you have kind of that anxious but excited feeling. During, you know, there's almost not a relief, but you know, there's a, there's like you're giving yourself a nod while you're taking that route on the field, you know, and then after, you're proud of yourself for sure. You know, you achieve things that not a lot of people have done, you know, and that's the only beginning of it as well. So, yeah.
It was ecstasy.